How do we assess fitness online? Well, that's the question I'm going to be diving into today and give you a little bit behind the scenes of how we do that here at Strength Matters. Hi, I'm James Breese, founder of Strength Matters and everyday athlete, and this is the channel for people over 30 who want to look better, feel better, and perform better. Now, in today's episodes, I'm taking you behind the scenes with how we approach assessing fitness online and showing you through a little bit of a case study and pulling the curtains back and showing you everything that we do with our scoring system and how we approach fitness. So let's dive straight on in. Now, if you're not familiar with our system of training, I highly recommend going to strengthmatters.com/system and downloading our free book, The High Performance Handbook for the 30 plus athlete. There you can download our complete hierarchy of athletic development, or alternatively watch the video What is Athleticism first before embarking any further with this. Now, once you understand our hierarchy and our system of training with the 10 components, we need to start thinking about how we assess. Now, what we did was we found the 10 components too complex in terms of assessment, so we broke that down even further. So what we created was a Strength Matters scoring system, and the scoring system works like this. We've broken things down into 4 key areas: health, movement, strength, and cardio, which makes up your overall score of up to 100%. Now, each area is broken down even further, so we score each thing individually. So health has an independent score, movement has its own score, strength has its own score, and cardio has its own score. And then that all makes up your total Strength Matters score in the middle. That's how we approach it, and that's where we have the assessments to make that happen. Now, what does that look like in reality? Let's go through a specific case study with Jerome, who was one of our clients a while back, and how we helped him progress by losing over 20 kilos in weight. But what did it look like behind the scenes in terms of health, movement, strength, and cardio? Now, I'm sure we can all agree that his before and after photos look great, which were taken 12 months apart. But what does that look like in the process of doing it? Because it's more than just the weight loss you got to think about here. It's his actual overall performance and the way he felt and the score and how the score changed over time that I want to show you. So going into the computer and showing you very quickly here now, if you look at the initial scoring sheet from Jerome when we first started working with him, his overall score was 42%. Now, if you're wondering where's the fancy software, that's coming. We're working on that at the moment, but we're pulling the data into our Excel databases at the moment while we're developing the software. So his overall score was 42%, which showed health, movement, strength, and cardio broken down here, with cardio being the lowest score, health being off, movement was quite poor, and strength being down too. So when we set up a training plan for Jerome, we focused on the thing that needed the biggest priority. For us here, it was cardio and improving his cardio capacity whilst focusing on his movement at the same time. We didn't worry too much about strength. We focused on those 2 areas first because we wanted to then bump up his health before going to strength afterwards. So this is what it looked like when he first joined us, as you saw that first initial photo. Now, what did it look like after about 4 to 5 months? Well, this is what happened in terms of score. We can see his overall score has been bumped up to 80%. So we know the program is working. We can see his scores improve. Great numbers, cardio is way up now, movement way better, but health is still kind of the same. It hasn't moved much here. Now, we haven't got a middle picture to show you in terms of his development with how he looked, but we saw the end photo. I promise you now, it was in terms of health, it was more of his waistline and his body fat percentage that hadn't changed. We focused on other areas first. And then, only then when we started getting everything else right first, we were able to develop and focus on his fat loss and his weight loss journey, which ended up with this final score, as you can see here, with his health being massively bumped up, cardio, strength 100%, movement way further up now, and that's what it looked like. So we could see as coaches how he was progressing in his score. Jerome could see as a score as well how he was progressing every step of the way, and we knew what was working, and physically we saw the results. His health improved, the way he moved, everything improved, and that's how we utilize and assess fitness online. This is our unique scoring system to make sure that we know what we need to focus on, and people who work with us know exactly how they're improving every step of the way. Now that's all well and good seeing the individual scores for each assessment, but what do we do with that data and how do we map trends and see what's happening to make sure it's working in the long haul? Well, we pull that data into our database to see those trends. So let's give another example of somebody else we've mapped and done multiple assessments with. It's a female. I'm not going to disclose who it is, just for confidentiality reasons. However, if we dive into the computer here, we see that her current score is 53%, with strength at 58, cardio 12, health 74, movement at 69. So cardio is the weak point and weak link here. But what's really cool is that we can compare that data of same age and gender. So she's well above the trend here. So that's a great piece. So if we're going down here, we can see what she's doing well. Areas we need to improve on, big red cardio factor here. But we can see here now as well the 4 pillars and how they've changed over time to make sure that we're doing what's right by her. So obviously health's gone up, plateaued a little bit, it's dropped a little bit, but we can monitor those trends. Same way with movement, it went up, came down, and it's gone back up again, because life isn't linear. It's not always going to go up and up and up. Life happens sometimes, so we can progress it. So cardio's up, stagnated a little bit, and strength continues to rise. Now, if we drive down a little bit lower, we can see where she fits compared to others overall, comparison just to gender, and then same age and gender. So at the top, compared to others, she's very much high on the health side of things, bang in the middle here for movement down the bottom. Cardio, it's quite low. And then strength, she's above average. And we can see the graphs here. With gender, all pretty good. And in comparison to same age and gender, she's above the norm here, but cardio's still a little bit low. But that's how we use the data for the assessments, how we pull in to map these trends and changes over time. Now, we also use this data to look at global perspectives on what's happening around the world to see trends in different countries. So I'm going to dive back into the screen again and show you what we're seeing from a global perspective with all this data coming in. Now, bear in mind, this is fairly small sample size of less than 1,000 people at the moment, because we're still growing this and starting to use this more effectively. So dive on in here. What we have here is our overall scoring system, and it is the combination of both male and female and all ages. So the current average total score is 47% around the world. Health being 64, cardio 21, strength 41, movement 64. Now, if we look at the global scores per country, we look at Canada first in North America. The average score is 54%. Broken down here is 73, 83, 18 and 42. If we go to the United States, we're looking at 43%, which is quite low at the moment. The United States, you need to catch up here a little bit, but that's mostly down to your cardio scores. As we're looking at in total. Let me reset that button here now, and we see here each scores. Again, UK averaging 53, Finland 39, Australia 52, in the UAE it's 46%, Germany where are we at? Belgium 47, Germany 71, the highest average scores we're seeing at the moment. But you're getting the picture. We can break them down per country. So if I click on Germany, you can see that's the scores we've got here. 62 cardio, health 73, 74, 76 accordingly. Now we scroll down, we can see the spreader scores. If I reset that as well and come down, you can see the spreader scores, and we're seeing averages of where people hit in each of the 4 pillars: health, movement, strength and cardio, and the spread down here. And we can see analysis by age and by gender too of what is going on. So the average scores for females are 62%, male is slightly higher at 67%, which is slightly surprising, but that's the data we're collecting and trying to use it to predict and see what's happening around the world. Now, there's other data points to this that we're still working on and gathering, but by collecting all the assessment data, all the analysis together, we're creating better ways of assessing and developing better program designs for our clients that we're trying to work with, like Jerome we did right back at the start. Hope we found it useful. Yeah, there we go. So there you have it, how we assess online fitness here at Strength Matters. That was a proper deep dive into giving you an idea of what we do with the data, what we do with assessments, and how we start to formulate program design and write programs for people to help them get them results, and they can see along the way their improvements in each of the 4 pillars: health, movement, strength and cardio. Now, if you haven't done so already, please download our free book, The High Performance Handbook of the 30+ Athlete, which goes more in depth into the system. strengthmatters.com/system, link down below. Or if you haven't seen the What is Athleticism video which details our hierarchy. I highly recommend going to see that too. Any questions, drop them down below. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe and press that bell notification. That way you'll be first to know whenever we drop new fresh content. Anyway, hope you found it useful. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.